Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Rocket League. Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the replays that we've had over the last week, and we're going to start, I believe, with the 5-1 thumping that we received in the last game of the day yesterday. So, what this kind of is going to be is just me kind of going through my thoughts, what I'm seeing, what corrections I think I can make. This is not going to be an all-encompassing guide to the mistakes that I made, because I'm sure there's plenty that I'm not going to notice. So, let's just go ahead and fire up the first replay here. Alright, so let's just take a look at this and see what we see. So I think we're going to start with trying to win the ball back to our teammate. Now, the one thing that I'm not completely sure of is just general spacing in 2v2. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna take a closer look at this. So we're gonna take a look at it at we'll go 50% here. We'll let this go. So I turn away from the ball here, which I think is the right play because my teammate's out of the play. But now right here is where we see the issue. So if I pause it right here and we go to fly cam here. Now, if we look at this guy currently is not in a position to make a play directly on this ball. So the question becomes, why am I rushing it this quickly? Because I could just as easily have come up the wall here and just have waited for it to come around to me and then gotten control of it that way. Instead, though, I tried to come up the wall quickly and just get a clear past him. Now, I think that's going to cause one major problem in the fact that I'm literally just smacking, even if I do get a touch on this, I'm literally just smacking the ball away. And more than likely, I'm going to hit it, it's going to bounce off the wall here and bounce right back mid. And you'll notice my teammate is still over there. So any ball that comes into the midfield here is going to turn into just a pass for pasture. So we really need to learn to just be more patient with these balls on the wall and not panic with the whole idea of, oh my gosh, I need to get this ball out as fast as humanly possible. I think that will go a long way in making this a bit better. Let's go back to 100% here. Because as soon as I hit play here, we whiff the ball completely, and it's just an open net. So patience on the wall is a big thing, and kind of just noticing the position of your opponent and knowing what they can go for and what they can't go for. Alright, so this is going to be decent touch, just getting out of danger, and it ends up being a pass over to my teammate, which kind of works out. I'm going to back off here because I don't really want to be in the same spot as my teammate. I really don't think I should have gone as far back as I did, though, because I was then in a situation where I really couldn't do a whole lot with the play. Actually, if we go back a little bit here. So yeah, right here. So I back up. Now, I flip right there. In reality, I really could have chilled kind of just right where I was before the flip, because I was still in a decent enough position to be able to get back to the goal if I needed to. But if we look, Jiggy Watt's on the wall, and he's currently jumping off it. If we go to find, so he's jumping off the wall to challenge this. So, in theory, no matter where this ball goes, he is not going to be in a position to immediately make a play on it. So if I was positioned more so here, then I would be in a position to make a play on this ball. As it stands, we're all the way back here and facing the net. So making a play on this ball is going to become a whole lot more difficult than it really needs to be. And we're kind of going to see that in a second when we try to go up and make a challenge on it and how difficult it becomes. So the ball kind of pops out right there. Now, if I was closer, I could have just shot that directly on target, and it wouldn't have been any issue, because Jiggy Watt's getting boost, Pasture's pressuring the ball. If I had beaten them to the ball, that would have been an open net, and we probably could have tied the game up right there. Instead, I was really far away and wasn't in a position to make a play on the ball. It's just the spacing issue that we're kind of looking at. So this is kind of a good passage of just kind of trying to control the ball on the wall there. And again, I realize I'm low on boost, so I'm low on boost. Now, there's a million pads all over the ground. I could have gone so many places all over the ground and picked up at least 30 boost. And 30 boost is enough to make most plays. But instead, I went all the way back. And now, once again, I'm completely out of the play. It's something that I think we really gotta look at as we go along. Okay, this is another thing. So let's see here. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Because if we look here, so the ball's coming here. I have all this open space, all of it, because Watt is over here. So he's not going to be able to make a play on this ball for a bit. So what I really should do in this position, instead of just driving up to the ball and smacking it as hard as I can in the general direction of the net, which Jiggy Watt's easily going to be able to get back to the net in time unless this thing is an absolute rocket, which it's not because the ball is coming towards me. Or I could just catch the ball and control it and go for a 1v1 against Jiggy Watt. Now, I don't have the best 1v1 skills in the world, but that still would give us a better chance for a play than just thumping the ball away as hard as we possibly can and just giving up complete control of the ball. Because even worse, Pasture's over there. We are literally in a perfect 2v1 situation. And I just completely give up possession and pass the ball right back to them. Yep, great touch. Now, it does work out in this situation because I'm able to 50 it into a goal, but that is not the general occurrence that we're kind of looking at it happening. So the two main lessons we've learned so far in this game is be more patient on the walls and be better at taking control of the ball and not just throwing it away. Okay, and this is another thing that I noticed. If we play it right here, so I get this clear off to the side. Now I see my teammate turn, which means he's probably going to go for it. So you would think, okay, I see him going for it. I can actually move upfield right here, be about midfield or so, and be available for him to pass it up to me. Which would be a great idea, considering that the two other players are just sitting in our net right now, because they both just went for a challenge. Instead, I cut my teammate off and try to catch and control the ball myself, which coincidentally doesn't work out. Like, I see him going. I should have just let him go here. At least could have possibly had a pass play going right there. At least would have given us a better chance to make a play out of it than what I did. We're gonna get the save here. It could have been a better clear, but I mean, that'll come. I don't know why I'm in the corner with my teammate there. Like, he was already over there. I knew he was over there. So there was no reason for me to be over there too. I could have just stayed in net and would have been perfectly fine. Perfectly happy. Perfectly content. Luckily, we didn't get punished for it initially, but if I was in net right there, I would have been able to clear that out to the left, rather than my teammate having to clear it across the goal into our post to try to get it out. So, it's all about that patience. Getting antsy and sneaking out into the corner, not actually a good idea, as it turns out. Alright, so let's see what goes on here. So that's good. Taking the time, not just throwing the ball away. And this time, I see my teammate going, just let him go for it. I'm just going to sit in net. This is what we kind of wanted in the last one. I wanted to go for a play there, but I kind of got botted off of it. We're going to get into another lesson on patience. So I see him coming, and I absolutely panic and just thump this ball right off the post. I think I actually had a few more seconds to just let the ball move itself, and I think I could have gotten a goal out of this, or at least a 50 right on the goal line, instead of just smacking this right into the post. Yeah. It just pinches up, and that's not recoverable from that position. And we're going to come across again, and again, smack it right into the post. That one's a little bit more forgivable, because I had to get it around the guy, but I still can be a little more patient. Actually, in that, the second off the post, it might have been a good idea to actually go for a fake right there, and just let that guy fly past, and then just calmly steer the ball into the net after that. Okay, so this brings up another interesting situation. Just sitting face on to the ball is not necessarily a good idea because you can't defend a whole lot. You can pretty much only defend what's right in front of you. Anything to your sides or over your head, and you're pretty much messed over. Instead, what would be a good idea is to turn and shadow the ball in this sense, so that when that pop happens, I might be able to get up to the wall for this. Or if he tries to take a shot on net, I can cover it, instead of just jumping for this initial challenge and not being able to reach it. Or the other option is, when I see him jump, instead of jumping with him, I just turn around and go on the wall and get ready for a challenge on the wall. Either of those options would have been better than just sitting face on and trying to jump and challenge. Luckily he pinches it across and it's not an issue, but that could have been really bad. Alright, so once again we're just kind of thumping the ball away. Absolutely no control, even though I had all the space in the world. Let's actually go back and take a look at this. Actually, we'll actually slow this one down a little bit. So he's going to get challenged right there. Now, I once again have all the time in the world. Jiggywatt is literally facing the other way, and Jay Pasture just went for a challenge. He's going to be out of the play for a bit. So what I should do is hit the ball on the top half of it so that it would roll up the wall and I could try to control it off the wall. Or I could try to just start a dribble and let the ball bounce into me and try to just dribble it up the field. Normally you'd probably recommend taking it up the wall. Instead though, what I do, what I think is a great idea, is try to absolutely slam it. And even worse, I slam it in the wrong direction. Let's look. What an absolute great play. And then okay, go off the wall for it, and yeah, I just give up at that point. It's not worth it. You're not gonna reach it. Oh, there's so many better options. And again, just kind of I think I was trying to control it there, and I just couldn't get the touch that would allow me to control it. And we luckily didn't get scored on here. I question why I'm turning away from the ball in this case, because I'm not going to be in a better situation, and I probably could have actually beaten him to the ball, or at least gotten a decent 50 out of it. Being patient's not the worst thing to do, but what I'm about to do after this is the worst thing to do. Because I panic again. Literally just, the ball's on the wall, gotta jump and hit it, because if I don't, there's a problem. But what's Jiggywatt doing at this point? He's landing from having jumped. So in reality, if we go back a few seconds here, and we'll slow this down again. In reality, what would have been an absolutely great idea, instead of jumping right there, Jiggywatt's not going to be back for this. He's just not. He can't be, because he's still landing. So instead of jumping off the wall here and just hitting this, I could have just driven back down to the ground and waited for the ball to come down to me. And then I could have either taken a 50 with Jiggy, and actually probably would have been a 50, or I might have even had the opportunity to dribble it out away from him. Instead, I tap it right off the wall here, which just gives the ball right straight back to Gigiwat, which is a terrible idea. Absolutely terrible. Not what you want to be doing. Let's just go back to some player view here. Yep, great play. Gigiwat gets the pass, and that is the second goal that I've given up this game for panicking on the wall. And I wonder why I lost 5-1. It's becoming not so much of a mystery the more we go along here. Alright, so let's see. He's gonna take a shot. Once again, thumping the ball away. Is there a reason to thump the ball away? Not really. Could have controlled it, went up the wall with it. My teammate's out of the play right now, so if they get control of this ball back from me absolutely slamming it, there's a problem. Probably would have been better off just to take the control and buy time a little bit, and possibly just give us a better opportunity in the future, instead of just thumping the ball away and giving control back to them. Luckily, in this case, it turned into a pass. It shouldn't have turned into a pass. Shouldn't be jumping there. I clearly saw he had it. There's no reason for me to be there, but I jumped anyway. That's a smart play. Fun fact. Look at all this space. You see that? You see this ball? You see me that had very little boost? You see the space. I'm trying to hit it again. Just absolutely smack it. Because that's going to do a whole lot. Really going to give us a lot of field possession and really mitigate the pressure that might be coming onto us. Instead of just catching it and dribbling it and taking a 50 or possibly just being in a 1v1 with Pasture in a second. The more you know. The more you know. Oh, wrong one. We're going to go here. And we're going to go there. Yeah, and I'm with it. Luckily, Pasture, is miles away. So, that's not a problem. This is just an awkward situation. In reality, right here, let me actually slow this down a bit. In reality, I should just be backflipping this away. But with 0 boost, it's really hard to get up to that, so that's kind of just an awkward situation at that point. I don't know how much else I could have done. The mistakes were already made. It was already over. I think this was the point that my teammate was saying, just let it end. Which I would have if I didn't want this to be able to learn from. Okay, that's a decent challenge. That's not as decent of a challenge because I took forever to get there. And then that's just unfortunate because he ideally, I think, would have played the ball back towards the same wall that I'm on, but I think he just accidentally kind of played it out in front, which of course just turned into a pass because I'm on the wall and this is 2s and there's no one back. And of course they're just gonna get an easy goal off of it. So that is, count 'em, 3 goals that were given up in this game from just panicking on the wall and not making the best touch we could have. So if there's anything that's learned from this, it's to take your time on the wall. Once again, whiffing off the wall. Also, don't know where I'm going in this sense. Just, driving towards their half. This is going to be a decent save. Could have gotten a better clear. Luckily, the second shot coming in is super light. That clear ideally would have gone out to the corner there, but it kind of just hung out in front. Picking up the boost, it's rotating back here. So we kind of get some field possession here. I'm going to move up to about midfield, which is good. Normally that would not be a good challenge, because you don't want to really be challenging in your opponent's corner when your teammate's not back. However, with having only 45 seconds left and being down 4 goals, kind of to the point where if there's a challenge, you're kind of just gonna go for it because you don't have the time to wait for something better. So that's not the worst thing. Somehow Pasture misses it, and instead of going straight to goal, I go get boost because boost is important. You need boost, definitely. Make that save. Aushin's kind of given up at this point. not a terrible shot there. Probably could have been better. Let me see where people were at here. Okay, yeah, so Pasture has turned away from this. So I have a bit of time. Let me see here if I slow this down. Yeah, he's not even challenging. I had so much time. I should have just caught this ball and gone for a flick or something instead of just trying to hit it. The hit, I mean, he has that entire goal covered with where he's positioned right now. So controlling that ball would have been a much better option, and then just kind of seeing what my options were. I probably could have actually controlled the ball and then given a pass off to Aushin, who was still sitting around in midfield. Probably would have been the better option definitely would have been the better option than just, hitting the ball back to our opponents. But, that kind of seems to be the theme of this game. It's just panic on the wall and hit the ball back to your opponent as hard as you possibly can. Because that's how you win in this game. That's a decent touch around the wall. I'm kind of just jumping for no reason at this point because we know it's over. See what happens here. He just touches it over. I'm just showing a net, and then we're just going to hit this ball away just to let it hit the ground. So yeah, moral of the story from that one is don't panic on the wall. Make sure you get the best touch you can off of it, and you're not just going to hand possession of the ball back to the other team. And in the same vein as that, don't just smack the ball away to the other team. If you have space, utilize it. This should all sound like ideas that we've heard before, yet I have still failed to listen to, which is always good. So we are going to do one more, then, and this is going to be more of a close game. And if any of you watched the Twos video from yesterday, you will probably know that this was the one that confused the crap out of me, and was probably the most disheartening because we really should have won it. So yeah, we'll jump into this one now. We'll see what we get. Let's just hop over. And, oops. Let's go there. Okay, it's being dumb. There we go. Alright. Finally into player view here. And we'll see what we got going on. Pretty standard kickoff. I'm going to kind of move up to midfield here, which isn't the worst thing. I'm kind of hanging back a little bit, and that's a bit of a risky challenge, because if I had gotten beaten by that guy, Conley would have been in an interesting spot, but it worked out. Kind of going to be mid here. Ooh, okay. So, this is definitely a problem. So, Conley, let's go to, oops, wrong button. Let's go to fly cam here. Okay, so Conley has the ball up here. He sees this. You'll notice that he sees that there's no one in the midfield, because I'm over here. So now, if Conley wanted to pass the ball across the midfield, I'm not going to be around to receive any passes from him, because I'm nowhere near the midfield. I'm behind him. Bad positioning should not be essentially right on top of where your teammate is, to the point that he can't see you to make a pass, even though you're technically available for the pass right now. So let's actually hop on with him real quick and see what he sees. Yep, that's about right. He sees absolutely nothing, because I'm down there in the corner. That's good. And just out of curiosity, let's see what play he makes here. You know how great that would have been if I had been there? Because I could have just absolutely slammed the ball into the goal, because Demo Man was really awkwardly positioned. That would have been good. Instead, no, we're going to sit right behind our teammate so he can't pass to us. That's really what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. Alright, let's go back out here. Go back to me. Back to player review for that. I'm also nowhere to be found, so that wasn't helping anything. Yeah, in the meantime of him making that play, what was I doing? Yep, yeah, it wasn't worth going for at that point. I'm gonna leave this because I don't want to leave Conley alone in an awkward 1v1, which kind of works out because then he's back to challenge. You don't really want to be leaving your teammate alone if you can avoid it. That's a good challenge off the wall. I probably could have played it to a better area. I got there a little before the ball, so it kind of just played off to the side. Ideally, I would have wanted to play it out in front of me so I would have an easier follow-up, but it kind of just got there a little early. Alright. I don't know why I'm jumping there. I was stuck under the ball and I heard someone jump, so I jumped instinctively, even though, like, that was going to do absolutely nothing because I was already going to get beaten to the ball. Also, just out of quick curiosity, let's see. So I'm under the ball here. What touch am I even making on this? Even if I touch it, where is this gonna go? The only place I can really play this is back towards my net anyway. So I don't even know why that would have been a good idea to start with. Like, jumping was a terrible idea in every sense of the word. Alright, so we're just gonna rotate back to net here. I'm very low on boost, and that's a stupid challenge. So, let's see. So, I'm low on boost. He has control of the ball. You would think that I might just tuck myself in on the near post here and be able to clear out anything that comes across. But instead, I'm going to lunge into that corner, because with 6 boost, I can really make a play there. Let me tell you, even though he has control, I can definitely beat him to it. That's definitely the mindset that I have. And yeah, the ball pinches right past me. It was really dumb. Still have 0 boost, so I think I'm going to pick up a few pads here. Or try to. Maybe. There we go. I don't know exactly where I was going there. I was kind of just following him across, and then I saw, oh, it's Jay Pasture again. I didn't even realize that in the moment. I didn't realize, I saw him going for the demo, and I was like, alright, I should back up off of this, because I don't want to get bumped. Kind of ended up with where I am on the wall here. That's a decent challenge, just to make sure you can't get out in front. I really shouldn't be jumping at that, because I'm not going to beat him anyway. And we're going to follow the ball across here, which normally isn't a good idea, but seeing as how our teammate was dead, it really didn't matter. See what play I make off the wall. Again, I probably should have checked where the opponent was and seen if I had time, because just smacking the ball away here, I'm not going to beat him back to this. Or normally I'm not going to beat him back to this, because I just made it closer to him than it is to me. So, again, controlling the ball there, better idea. Luckily, I am able to get back to it just because of how it bounces, but that is generally not how it works. Now, you'll see the difference here. So I'm on the wall here, and what I see is Conley in the midfield. So I can make a pass to Conley in the midfield, unlike what he can do on his play when he had the ball on the wall here, and couldn't really do a whole lot of anything. Be in the midfield for your teammate. Don't be, like, encroaching on the goal line until you know it's a ball you can go for. But be available for the pass if your teammate wants to pass it. That was just an awkward kickoff. Again, don't know really why I'm jumping. Conley was way closer to that. And theoretically, I should have seen him going. This is dumb. This is really, really dumb. So, let's see what we see here. So, the ball goes out. The ball's coming across. I'm actually gonna quickly slow down the speed, and we're gonna go back into fly cam here. So, Demo Man flipping away from the play. He's moving away. Pasture smacks the ball this way. It's gonna roll up the wall here. Wrong way. It's gonna roll up the wall here. I'm coming across. Now my teammate is also out of the play. So, let's kind of see what happens. So now, ideally, if I'm going to be over here, and I'm not just going to wait in net, I should not be going directly to where this ball is going to be rolling up the wall. I should be over here, on this wall, because this is where the ball is eventually going to come to. And Demo Man is still out of the play, so we really don't have to worry about an immediate threat from him. So if we keep it rolling, I drive up the wall here, and try to challenge. So, of course, the ball is just going to ricochet right down into the middle. Whereas, if I was back here, on the goal line, he would have brought the ball around and I could have challenged him here. Or if he passed it, I could have challenged out here. Or if I was on the wall up here, he might have just hit the ball around to me. But instead, I go for the early challenge when my teammate's out of the play, not buying him any time to get back, and the ball 50s right into the middle, and lo and behold, no one's back to defend this. What a surprise! Aren't we all surprised by this? I know I am. Alright, let's go back here. That, and then that. Alright, so back to the kickoff. So I backed out of that one. We both kind of ended up backing out of that one. And we are lucky that Jay Pastor didn't just backflip that one in. Let me actually go back here to this play. Alright, so right now this looks like it should be my ball. And I see Conley go up the wall. I should no longer be jumping at this point. Because if Conley's on the wall, he looks like he's probably going to go for it. Because with his ball cam is looking up right now. He probably can't see me. Let's see. If we go to Conley. Yeah. He's definitely looking right at that ball right now. There's no way he can see me. And he's also significantly closer. So there's no reason why I should end up jumping for this ball. Because he definitely has it. And instead I jump for it. And then we both kind of see each other. And we both bail out of it. Which leaves us in a really bad spot. And we're just lucky that Jay Pastor doesn't score it. So now I'm going to move up here a little bit. I'm going to wait for Conley's pass off the wall, which never comes. And I'm going to back down now because I don't want to get beaten on a challenge in the corner because that's a bad idea. That's going to be a nice back pass from Conley. And then he's going to go for this play right off the wall. This is actually a really nice play from Conley because with the way he hits this off the wall, it makes Demoman think that he has to go for it because he thinks that it's in. When in reality, it's just going to hit the post, but Demoman has no idea that that's what it's going to do. So he thinks he needs to make a save, therefore he misses it, therefore it ends up being an open net for me to shoot on. Turns out that missed shots end up being the best passes because it makes defenders panic and think they have to go for things. Because it ends up with me scoring. So now I think at this point, I was feeling pretty good because we were actually playing pretty darn well. And you'd think that we'd kind of keep it going. Now, I like this. This is a good idea. I moved forward and then I turned around to be able to defend more angles that Demoman might be able to go for. I can defend the shot, I can defend going up the wall, I can defend the flick, I can defend pretty much anything from the position I'm in right now. This is kind of what we'd want to do more often than challenging straight on. Is this idea. Because now I can go up the wall here. And granted, I'm terrible at arrowing off the wall still, so I whiff it like an idiot. But I was in a decent position to be able to make a play on the ball, assuming I have the mechanics to do so. And luckily, Pastor misses again. Once again, I'm panicking, but I think I saw him there. Let's see, do I... Yeah, I don't know why I thought a shot was coming in. Because if we look... So, Demoman's there. Pasture's there. He's circling around. Maybe I thought he was going to circle back around faster. But I think he knew I was going to panic and just kind of give him the ball back. So he just kind of waited. Because, you know, I've been very good at giving people the ball back in these games. Alright, so that's a decent touch in the corner. Not sure why Conley was jumping into the corner there with me. Because... Let's see. We're actually going to switch over to... Not that. We are going to switch over to Conley here. And we're going to see what he sees here. Alright, so he sees me make that touch, and then he sees me following it, and he still dives into the corner. This is kind of similar to the same error that I made, where I saw my teammate in the corner, and yet I joined him in the corner anyway, which normally isn't a good idea, because if all the other team has to do is essentially beat one of you in the corner, they've now essentially beaten the entire team, instead of having someone back in net to defend that ball coming across, now it's just a 2v0 because you're both in the corner. So, don't rush into the corner with your teammate. It's not a good idea, and it never turns out well. We got lucky in this instance that it did turn out well, but typically you don't want to be clumping up in the corner like that. It does not have a high success rate. That's a good beat. I think I just wanted to get it around the guy. Ideally in this situation, I might want to play this to the left to open space. But in the moment and just in the idea of beating him to the ball, I just got rid of it. Because I wasn't thinking about keeping control, I was just thinking about not letting him take a shot at that point. Which that's fine in certain circumstances. I should be scoring that, but I hit the post again. This is actually number one. I want to see something here. So where is my oh, he's on the wall. So number one, this is mildly risky because if Pasture wins this clean, I don't think Conley's gonna get back for it. So, number one, this is risky. With a 2-1 lead, I really don't think I should be jumping for this as enthusiastically as I did. However, since we're here, I really should be scoring this. If I'm going to go for it, I need to make sure that I score it. Unfortunately, let's just take a look here. If we play it, I just hit the post. Just barely hit the post. Which is unfortunate. Because you really would have liked to score that there. Luckily, though, even though I missed it, Conley's back. Because I at least got that first touch. So that does mean that we're in a bit of a better spot to defend the oncoming counterattack. So it definitely could have gone significantly worse. Especially if I had just gotten flat-out beats of the ball in general. So we'll go back to player view here. Again, why am I jumping? I already saw Conley go. Conley's already up. Me jumping isn't going to help. I think I do win this race, but it's still so dangerous. Because once again, if Pasture beats me now, he has now beaten both of us. If he beats us in the air here, we're both out of the play. And they're probably going to get a goal. So I probably should just be more patient there. That was a really risky play for me to go for. That's smart going on the wall right there just to try to get the best clear I can. I'm really low on boost here. In this instance, so I'm low on boost and I'm already in the corner. I turn this way and I see Conley in net. Right now I can tell he's there. So his touch with where he's positioned, most likely he also knows I'm in the corner here. So I would not be surprised to see this ball come out to the right as a pass to me. However, I decide right here to turn back to the goal. Because why not? Because that's a good idea. Because me heading back to the goal with 0 boost, if that 50 goes right out to Demo Man, is really going to make a difference. And Conley does win it. And you know where the ball goes? Right to the corner, where I just was. Now imagine if I was still there. I could have taken the ball and possibly made a play with it. Or at least gotten it clear. Instead, I was heading back to the goal. That was already defended. Alright, let's go back to normal time here. This is a good situation. So this is kind of awkward. I need to make the play where I essentially either jump over Pasture and then can make the save, or I outrun him and make the save. Both are risky, because if I jump, he can just jump and hit me, or if I try to outrun him, he can catch up to me, because he is currently going supersonic and I am not. Luckily, I am able to outmaneuver him, and I do get the clear. So, that does allow us to make the play there. Conley makes that nice clear, and we're off to the other side of the field. Once again, not challenging in the corner is a good idea, although in this case, in hindsight, having now seen this. So, Conley goes there. It is smart to not go for this immediately, because I know Conley is going to take a second to recover. However, if we slow this down here, I'll see Conley start to make the turn back, and he picks up that boost right there. So, okay, I know Conley has boost. I know he will not take too long to get back. And as soon as I see Conley pick up that boost, they both leave the ball momentarily. So I should, at the very least, be pressuring this ball. Even if I don't go for a full-on challenge, I need to be closer to it. I should not be giving them all this space in the world, because now they have the entire field to make any play they want. And it almost turns into a 1v1 situation where someone challenges in their opponent's corner, and then the opponent just has the whole field. Or they don't challenge in the corner and just give up space, like in this case. And then the opponent has the whole field to make whatever play they want. So this was... I had all this time. All this time. And now I'm turning back. And now I'm moving back towards it. And now, because I took forever, Pasture has control, and he is going to just flick it past me. Because I can't do a thing about it, because I've already given him the space. Luckily, it doesn't become a problem, because Conley was back. But it's still not the general idea you want to go for. Should not have given him the time and space to do what he wanted. Alright, so I see Conley going, so I hang back. That's good. Move up here, picking up some pads. Okay. Yeah, so this is a problem. So I see Conley with the ball. I have 100. Let's see, when Conley makes this challenge. Alright, so I have 100 right here. I'm going to use a little bit of it, just to get back to net a little bit faster. Conley makes the challenge, I have 99. Now, I could expect that if Conley's going to get another touch on this ball, it is going to be some form of pass to the middle of the field. Some way, shape, or form he's going to attempt to pass the ball, because the ball is moving towards the corner. And the only play you can really make out of the corner is either taking the ball up the wall and trying to dump it out mid, or trying to just smack it off the corner and bouncing it out mid. Those are really the two main options in the corner. But instead, I go to the right here. When I have 100 boost, to pick up more boost pads. For some unknown reason, when I could, wacky concept here, I could be in the middle of the field and ready for that pass. And oh, look at where Pasture is. And look at where the goal is. And the ball. And the great shot that I could have put on net right here. But no, instead, oh yeah, by the way, I also just smacked the ball again. Instead of trying to control it, because they were both played in the same day, one right after another. So why would I actually try to control the ball? That would be ridiculous. And just smack it away as hard as you can. Always the play. And, oh look, they saved it because I made terrible decisions. Alright. There's gonna be one more really bad decision coming up in 1 second. It's right here. Conley, in the corner. So I can't challenge this. There's no way. We're up 2-1, 25 seconds left. We just need to buy time. There's no way I can challenge this. Absolutely no way. What do? I challenge the ball. Because I'm a genius. And where's his teammate, by the way? Oh, I saw him drive past me a couple seconds ago. You remember Pasture? The guy who's right there, right now? And we're about to... Okay, let's slow this down to make sure we really see what happens. You'll notice that Pasture takes the mid boost and goes behind me. I know he's there. I'm aware that he's there. Even in the moment, I knew he was there. And I see Conley pressuring the ball. And even still, I'm like, yeah, I can challenge that. That's smart. Oh, look, it's a pass down towards Pasture. Now, of course, Pasture turns away from it. But we just both took ourselves out. Well, no, Conley was making a smart choice. Conley was making a good choice in pressuring the ball. I made an idiotic choice in challenging when Conley was pressuring the ball, and they had a player behind us. And now what happens? Oh, hey, okay, so here's Conley. Conley's right there. He's clearly moving towards that ball. So you would think a smart play would be for me to rotate around here into net and be ready for whatever 50 comes out from this challenge. Nope, I'm gonna jump into the corner too. Because, you know, 2 people in the corner is better than 1. And if you put 2 people in the corner, you might win the challenge easier. Or, you know, it could go past both of you and become a pass to pasture, and you know, they could tie the game up with 18 seconds left because you made a really freaking dumb decision. Hey, look at that, they tied the game up with 18 seconds left because I made a dumb decision. Who would have thunk it? Alright. So, let's see where this goes. So now at this point, we either want to really go for the win here, or we want to just play for overtime. The key point is just don't lose at this point. At the very least, get yourself to overtime. So we both go there because neither of us can see each other. That's going to happen. If you can't see each other, it's going to happen. Luckily, we get the touch and it goes to the corner. So that's fine. And then Conley challenges this. Now, at this point, I'm thinking 3 seconds left. There's no one back in net right now. We should really be going to try to win this game because we have a real opportunity here. So Conley makes this touch off the wall, and I think, oh, cool. Pasture's out of the play. The other guy's out of the play. If he just hits this off the wall, we can score and win this. But instead, he just drops it. And now, okay. So, this is the big moment. So, Conley's on the kickoff. I'm thinking, alright, 2-2 overtime. We kind of threw it away. I kind of threw it away, rather. But hey, we can at least win this game in overtime, because at the end of the day, I think we've been playing better than these guys. So I'm like, alright, Conley's going to go for it. I'll be back left for him, because it normally ends up coming back to the back corner. And then he just doesn't go. And I don't understand why he just doesn't go. And now this is the problem. So I'm confused. I don't understand why he doesn't go. However, I should quickly clear that thought from my mind and just be like, alright, whatever, we'll get back into it. He just might not have noticed. So he doesn't go. The ball comes through. He gets the touch. Now, once again, he kind of cut me off here because I feel like I would have had this if we slow this down a little bit here. So he doesn't go. I immediately turn ball cam back on and turn back around. So I'm here for this. And now, like, I probably would have had that to a safe position, and Conley just kind of jumps for it. So I'm in the air with 8 boost. I pick up a pad there. Now I should. Conley just challenged and went that way. So I know he's behind me to some extent. Now I should have, by this point, cleared the thought from my mind of the fact that he didn't go on kickoff and we were just going to get back into this. So that ball, I should be going for it, at least pressuring it in some way, shape, or form. I even see Devilman turn to go get the boost. So at this point, I can actually beat him to that ball, because I now have 32. Let's make sure we get this clearly. So I should be going for this. And I turn around. And now, remember, Conley went that way. Pasture also went that way off of that challenge. So they're both over there, which means Pasture is in the position to receive a pass. So at this point, I should definitely be challenging this ball. I move towards it. And then he passes it. Do I boost towards it? No. Do I make any effort to get there quickly? No. Do I just kind of sit there and let him pass it? Yeah. And we all know, midfield pass, right over to Pasture, and oh look, it's a goal. Yeah. So, if you look at the title of yesterday's video, it's entitled, I Can't Believe This Ended This Way. Because I couldn't believe that's how we lost that game. However, it should be entitled, We Lost Because I'm a Moron and Made 15,000 Mistakes. Because I had about 5 opportunities to really challenge that ball. Actually, let's see here. How many opportunities would I say I had here to challenge this ball? Let's see. Okay, so they're both out of the play. Demo Man's right there. Let's see. Okay, I pick up this boost. Here's opportunity number 1. I can be boosting towards it right now and going to get it. I choose not to. I see Demo Man turn back. Opportunity number 2. I can be going for it right now and still beat Demo Man on the ball because he just turned around for the boost. No, don't do that. Turn away. Opportunity number 3. Demo Man's coming towards the ball. I have 32 boost. I know that Pasher's on the other side. I really need to stop any kind of infield pass. I should be diving at the ball at this point. Absolutely diving. Because I've already missed my first 2 opportunities. So the only other chance I'm going to get is to dive at this ball right now and make sure that he either panics and doesn't make a good pass, or I can steal it off of him. But I don't do that either. I just kind of sit there and let him pass it, because why not? Because losing is fun. And of course, if you watched the video yesterday, you'll remember my teammate was none too happy with me. If you haven't seen yesterday's video and you want to kind of see my teammate's reaction to this game, I really do advise you going and checking it out, because, oh boy, it was kind of interesting. Yeah. So, overall, the general lessons that we've learned from today, I think there's 3 of them. Number 1, don't panic on the wall. Make the best touch you can. Number 2, don't just throw the ball away when you have time. Take it down and control it. And number 3, make challenges that are smart. Don't make challenges that are dumb. And I guess number 4, know where everyone is on the field, because if you can keep that in the back of your mind, you'll kind of know what plays you can go for and what plays you can't. So, that just about does it for this replay analysis. I really appreciate all of you guys watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.